timing from Jungha. Oh, but that was nice. Gust there too. Twilight Dream at the same time, so overlap of those. But even still, the members of ST are low and falling. Has to ice block out of the Palm. Palm was rocked.
Nice.
Sanctification too in the nick of time. Zola staying alive for a long time, eventually falling.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really nice try, keeping Nazeebo alive for as long as he did. But ultimately, both him and Nazeebo fell to the ruthless onslaught here of L5, who are moving inexorably forward towards the core of Soul Torturers. Do they turn back here on account of low HP? Do they try to set a trap and get more kills and end the game? For now, it's Nitrogen! And he goes down, the second takedown here for Soul Torturers.
It was a nice turnaround from ST that they were able to recognize that Nitrogen was departing their base away from the rest of L5. So finally, Soul Torturers are able to get some relief, some respite. But it is brief. 2 keeps down now that they will have to babysit and watch for the catapults to push. Getting some mercenaries out on the map will help them push that back, help them try to soak up to 16 so they can continue to try to get back into this game with their fights.
L5 is starting to capture all the mercenary camps. Anytime you know that your opponent is looking for that turnaround fight, that's where you don't give it. You first flood the map with mercenaries, and you force your opponent, who is already on the defense, to respond. That's what L5 is doing. The vision is completely on the side of L5. Soul Torturers has no idea where L5 is right now. It's only now that Stitches shows at the bottom. Jungha nearly getting a solo kill there on Genji.
Nacho flew in, but Skrull did a good job of being able to spot that out, stop him from trying to gust everyone else in. Nobody else was rotating though, instead just capping the Shrine in the bottom lane, starting to escort those mercenaries. Nobody in position to stop this Dragon Knight. And L5 get another Dragon Knight. Complete control on this game, starting to head toward the mid, knowing that they still have such a dominant lead, 16 talent tier advantage.
Skrull gets silenced, gets hit by the Dragon Knight by Melf, Moonfire, and he gets taken out. Murden is gone, so is Genji. And Kharazim will get kicked away the hook. This is just merciless by L5, as it should be. 15 versus 2 in takedowns and 3 deaths on the side of Soul Torturers.
I cannot commend Jungha enough. Every time Noblesse causes chaos in the ranks of ST, and once they start to go back to their base, Jungha is there immediately with a follow-up drag, capitalizing on the chaos that the rest of L5 caused. They played this beautifully. It was so good at one point. A 4-level lead, L5 showing their dominance in Game 1 over ST.
Yeah, I see Noblesse there with a cheeky grin as that game was concluded in L5's favor, and why not? He played a fantastic game, and so did the rest of his team. 17 and 2 in takedowns. L5 in an uncharacteristically long 13-minute game. It's only because it's Dragonshire.
Yeah, the Dragonshire factor, definitely.
Yeah.
No, they played so well in this first one. Soul Torturers wanted to play the long game, and L5 didn't give it to them. They understood the benefit of having Nazeebo on Dragonshire, and even just never let ST get to that point. So that is it for Game 1. Let's head over to the analyst panel and see what they thought.
That's right, pretty clean cut overall. L5 taking that first victory, and it's a good point that Gillyweed actually brings up there. If you're going to draft for something like having a Nazeebo there, surely the draft needs to have a little bit more delay for you when you're going up against a team like L5 that's pretty dominant. What would you try and incorporate into that draft to try and delay out if you're looking for an endgame solution?
I mean, it comes down to the same thing I said, even without knowing that they were going to go to the Nazeebo. I think it was only worsened by the fact they committed to the Nazeebo. It was their ability to not commit to controlling at least one half of the shrines, which when you're facing the double global, you aren't dominating through wave clear, and you picked a skirmish-oriented composition. If you're not in even footing to the mid part of the game and you aren't winning those fights, it's really unrealistic to win a Dragonshire game.
I would agree. They didn't choose a lane to dominate. They sort of just chose to delay the game. But there's only so long you can delay. You just keep losing things. They were delaying bot lane. They lost